Good evening, everyone. Mike here, founder of Magnus Box, coming at you from a very, very, very long time ago from our last Q&A session. Uh, I'm here today with our new general manager, Mr. Luke. How's it going today, Luke?
Good.
It's been
Nice
a
to be
long
on.
time, man.
Yes.
It's been
But
since
we're
like
back.
last year. Oh yeah, we're back. Would you say better than ever or just back?
I would say better than ever.
Yeah, exactly. So we are coming at you today live through StreamYard. If you want to drop any comments or questions in the chat below, we will be giving away a $50 Amazon gift card to one lucky participant that is totally chosen by random through a website. So, but yeah, so everything's been going pretty well over here at Magnus Box, wouldn't you say?
I would. It's been an exciting past few months, and I think we have some exciting stuff to share with everyone.
Yes, we definitely do. We've had a lot going on over the last couple of months. So pretty excited to announce that we have built out our brand new Apollo cluster. So a little bit about our Apollo cluster is that it is powered by 45 drives. It is our newest, it is our third and newest storage cluster that is owned fully by Magnus Box. So it's pretty cool, pretty exciting. You got to check it out, didn't you, Luke?
I did. It is really nice in there. It's very clean, very organized, and I think it's gonna allow us to bring some really cool offerings to Magnus Box.
Yeah, so what was pretty cool is that we did a time-lapse video of the build-out process. So we'll go ahead and share that here and we can just talk a little bit about it and what our expectations and what our goals are with it. So yeah, it was definitely a fun build out putting that all together. So some of the things that we're hoping to accomplish with the Apollo cluster is we're hoping to bring in a lot more of our data from Wasabi and stop relying on third-party vendors. As we've noticed over the last month, there's been quite a few outages from Wasabi, including, I think we just had one like 2 nights ago, Luke.
Yeah, sometime earlier this week. Pretty
Yeah,
big one.
took out the entire storage infrastructure, and so everything that was owned by Magnus Box, which is Apollo, Nexus, and Akira, all of our storage clusters stayed up and running. And so our goal is to not only bring data in-house, but to expand our offerings as well. And so we're so thankful that we were able to partner with 45 Drives. It was a very fun build out. I think probably the hardest part of that entire process, number one, was it's always cabling. Um,
Yeah, I believe it.
I think I made it look pretty good. As you could tell from the video, we spent a lot of time trying to make it look nice and uh, aesthetically pleasing to make sure that it looked
Yeah.
clean. Plus, it makes it easier to manage. I mean, let's be honest, it's all about making it easier to manage.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, if you were to leave it a mumbled jumbled mess, it would be very hard to fix issues and it could cause more issues as well.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And so, um, yeah, I gotta say one of the pain points that I went through the most though was having to track every one of those hard drives.
Yeah, I know, that was like one of the longest parts of the video, you scanning around there.
And half the time it was because the program that we use, I think it's Snipe IT,
I believe
SNIPE IT.
I think
I've been
so.
I've been using that since day one because when we have about 350 hard drives, I think, right now in our inventory, and trying to track warranties for when a drive fails is a logistical nightmare.
Yes, for sure.
And so with us having that asset management or asset tracking program out there, it makes it a lot easier for us to be able to know what the warranty is and which vendor we need to engage with to get those drives replaced. So we got to keep that data moving, right?
Yes, for sure. You know, I think I wanna have the honor of opening up the first question here, and I wanna ask, how are you able to stay out of the frame for all those videos? That seems like it'd be the hardest part for the time lapse.
Uh, I had so in the data center that we have, they have the air conditioning units, and it's the wall where the cables go through. They have this
Yeah.
like a conduit on the wall. I had to stabilize it there, and it was hard. And then on top of that, we brought out the big guns. We I was using the setup.exe, which is from Patchbox, and it's
Oh, yeah.
they're not cheap, but it's got to be the best thing that I've got for the data center is that it'll hold. It's the third arm that I need when it's 2 in the morning and I'm trying to install a switch or fix something that I broke. Um, I was able to flip it and use it because you can use it as a laptop holder. And so I had my phone stabilizing on there while I was trying to scan in all those hard drives. And that was probably like the worst part of the entire build process, just getting those hard drives inventoried for my
Yeah.
own tracking purposes. Plus, let's be honest, I'm going to be using it as with my CPA. They're going to get that asset list and they're going to take care of all my taxes for me. So
Yep. Hey, take advantage of it.
every scan was the pain or was the joy of saving a little bit of money
Ka-ching.
on my taxes next year. So,
There you go.
gosh, could have a whole entire session just on business taxes for Magnus Box, but yeah, and
That'll
how
be
much it
next
is.
month's topic.
Next month's topic is going to be tax information, not tax advice though. We don't give that out here.
Nope.
Uh,
Nope.
but yeah, so it was definitely a fun project. So one of the things that we are hoping to do with the new Apollo cluster is uh, break away a little bit and offer S3 storage directly into our new Apollo cluster. And so that's something that we're actively working on right now. We don't quite have a ETA on when it's going to be available. We're hoping in the next couple of months, but it's definitely going to be exciting that we can now offer S3 storage without the Magnus Box backup software. And so this would be perfect for anyone that was like with Comet, or if anyone was directly wanting to offload some data from some other third-party backup solution. We're able to allow people to connect into our S3 infrastructure since we are HIPAA compliant. And that is one of the benefits of that as well, is that we can offer that in the near future. So definitely something to keep an eye on for in our Magnus Box partner group. We don't know what the pricing is going to be yet, but we're definitely trying to expand our offerings to be able to offer MSPs more services that they can then pass along to their clients as well.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be kind of a new frontier for Magnus Box. I mean, it's similar to what we've been doing before, but kind of opening up our horizons and bringing more value to our partners so they can bring more value to their customers.
Yeah, and I mean, just based on uptime alone, I mean, the number of outages that we've had in our own data center, I don't want to jinx myself here, so I'm going to knock on my wood desk here.
I got one
We've
too.
we've only had a couple of outages in the last 3 years at our data center, and so we're very fortunate with that. And we keep and we monitor all of our systems in real time, just like we do any of our other infrastructure. And so if something goes wrong, we get notified right away. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to be offering S3 storage here in the very near future. Um, So I see that we do have a question here, Luke. Look at that. Hey,
Scott.
how's it going tonight, Scott? Man, it's
Thanks for
been
joining
a
us,
while
Scott.
since we've been a while since we've chatted, man. But hello guys. Were you able to find out what happened with the outage the other night? So the other night, like I mentioned earlier, Wasabi had a very large outage. It started off with just our management console going offline, and I'm sitting there with dinner with the kids, and I'm like, this is okay. I don't need to go into the management console. And then about 15, 20 minutes later, I get the oh crap notification, everything is offline. And so anything that, because we grew so fast here at Magnus Box, we can only build storage
Mhm.
clusters so fast because, capital, money. Vendors
Yep,
like to get paid.
they do. They do.
Newsflash. So all of our infrastructure was up. Our three storage clusters, Akira, Nexus, Apollo, our newest one, was all up and running. But anything that we were using with Wasabi, which is a good chunk of our network yet, as we start to move things back in house, was just offline. It was for a good couple hours though, wasn't it? I don't remember the timeline. You did the notices, Luke, so I don't remember if it was a few hours.
Yeah, I know that we first noticed it. Let's see, let me go back here to Tuesday. I can get the exact times in our Slack channel. But it was at least a good couple of hours. It started around like 10 o'clock Eastern time and then ended around 2 a.m. the next morning, so 4 hours. Um,
Yes. Yeah, and so it's back up and running. If anyone's backups failed, they will pick back up where they left off, and so it's definitely a nice thing. But yeah, great question, Scott. I appreciate that. So back to our S3 storage here. Oh, we already covered that, so we're good there. Um, so, uh, so Luke, did you want to talk a little bit about Seth and a little bit about how you became general manager, or?
yeah. So Seth earlier this month, actually June 1st to be exact, left the company. Obviously on good terms. He was a great employee and we're grateful for everything he did for us. But he was going to Western Michigan University for biochemical engineering. And so when he graduated, which was also earlier this year, he decided to go and get a job related to the degree of study he went for. So I don't remember the exact name of the company that he's working for, but it's a company down near the university in Kalamazoo. And so he's working there. We wish him the best, of course. And
Yeah.
so I have taken his job now as general manager at Magnus Box. And I'm just focused on growing the company. I'll still be answering tickets, so I'm sure you guys will hear my name a lot still, but just kind of trying to take the company in a new direction. So
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do is we're just trying to expand out. We're not trying to get away from our core business, which is backup software for MSPs. We're just trying to expand what we're offering because there's a lot of MSPs out there where they want storage from a different provider, one that doesn't break as often, and they but they don't want to use our backup software. Perfectly fine. So, like I said, in the coming months, in the next quarter or so, we will be getting ready to launch our S3 storage option and be able to sell off block storage. And it's definitely something that we're excited to be offering here in the future.
it looks like we got another question from Scott here. He says, "We all know that feeling. Getting paid is important. Glad to see you're making progress with the new cluster. Have you finished the testing phase and started using the new cluster in production?"
Uh, that's a great question, Scott. That was a great question. So as of right now, because like I said, we're trying to bring a lot of our data in from Wasabi. So as some of our other infrastructure gets older, so one of our storage clusters called Phoenix, which is hosted with Wasabi, is getting on the older side because there's a server in between that handles the connections. We're bringing that data in, and so it's about 900 terabytes of data that we're bringing in-house. And so we're at about 200 terabytes transferred at this moment. We're hammering a almost 2 gig circuit dedicated for that transfer. Um, and just so you guys can kind of uh, so yeah, we're at 214 terabytes at the moment. So we got a little ways to go. It's going to probably take another month or two. Maybe I'll have to hammer that connection a little bit harder and pull in a little more data, but yeah, it's definitely definitely a little bit of a long process. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we don't miss anything. Moving partners from one data center to another data center is a very tedious process because we don't want to have any damage or any data go missing. So we have plans in place on how we're going to point their devices from one storage vault to the other. And anyone that's having their stuff moved, we will be reaching out to them personally to give them a heads up before we make that change. So that way they're aware it's going to happen. Because number one, it's legally we got to tell you where your data is being stored. And number two, it's more of a compliance issue where if your clients are expecting their data to be in one place and it's not, we definitely want to make sure that everyone's aware of that their data is going to be in a different location than what it was. But it's still all staying in the U.S. None of our data crosses borders, especially with the laws in U.S., Canada, and over in the EU. So we don't want to have any issues there, any concerns there. Great questions tonight. I appreciate it, Scott. Yep. So yeah, we appreciate the fact that you stepped up and took over Seth's position, Luke. And it's definitely, I'm
Yeah.
very happy that you're going to be able to help guide us in a little bit of a different direction than where we were heading previously.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, so I mean, is there anything else that you want to discuss tonight? You know, favorite coffee drinks?
Well, yeah, we
Oh,
got to do some of that stuff.
oh, I forgot something we got to talk about.
What's that?
We just talked to him the other night. So just to give everyone a heads up, we have decided to head over to TechCon Unplugged this year.
Oh, yep,
So
yes.
I forgot to add that to the show notes today when I was asking you earlier what were we going to talk about. So the Magnus Box team, specifically Luke and myself, are going to be heading to TechCon Unplugged this year. For those that are interested, it is going to be on, and I'm stalling as I stalk their website. It's going to be September 12th through the 14th, and it is going to be it's going to be in Maryland. It looks like, yeah.
Yeah,
And so
it's like right outside
go
the
ahead.
DC area.
So we're definitely excited. We had to miss it last year. There was a lot going on with Magnus Box last year with vendor prices changes hitting us. And that's a whole nother topic for another show, is everything that happened in 2023. It was a crazy year in 2023 with everything that hit us. It was just like one thing after another. But yeah, so
Scott's joining in on the coffee debate here. He says Cafe Bustelo for the win.
gosh, so is it going to be bad if I say that I'm like a huge Dunkin's French vanilla addict, or
No, I don't think that's controversial at all.
is that actually coffee though? I mean, let's be honest, is that
Well,
really coffee?
it's whatever you want it to be, Mike.
Yeah, so we have a lot of things that are in the works right now. Like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be doing some different marketing. We're going to be trying to bring some partners in for some fireside chats, and we're going to let them try to roast us and talk about the good and the bad. We'll let them roast Luke. I mean, we'll
Hey,
break him in the right way.
is this like a coffee pun, Mike? Roast.
I was wondering if he caught the coffee pun or not.
Oh yeah.
Hey, usually these conversations end up talking about booze, and so we're gonna try to keep it booze free.
Well, it's too late. It's like the game. If you mention it, you already lost.
We may have to bring Scott in this. I know we talked to. I know we
It says
talked
Cuban
to.
espresso.
Oh yeah. Now that's way out of my range. I mean, I'm all for the fake stuff.
Yeah.
Irish coffee. That's what he said to me here. But
Scott, how many cups of coffee do you have a day?
Scott, he doesn't sleep, man. You should see his post on Facebook. He's like 48 hours in a data center.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. He'll I'm sure that there's like a 10-second lag, so we'll have to wait for his
Oh
answer. But
yeah.
zero
Oh,
cups? What?
0.
Oh, Scott, you're killing us.
I
But
can't be right.
I think he mistyped. I think there's something supposed to be in front or behind that.
Yeah, 1-0. Oh.
But yeah, I mean, I think that everything's going pretty well over here at Magnus Box, and we'll just keep doing what we can to grow and make sure that the number one thing is that we take care of our partners. So I think we're about ready to wrap it up, wouldn't you, Luke?
I think so. I think you guys can reach us if you have any issues that you need to discuss with our team at support@magnusbox.com, or you can give us a call at 888-933-2975. So
I need to reprogram the coffee, where to send coffee to. We used to have one that would say our PO box number on the bottom, and we actually had a partner send us coffee.
wow, I like that idea.
We just told them it came with priority support. So, but
There you
yeah,
go.
but yeah, if anyone, exactly, my
Scott
thoughts as
says,
well.
Luke, congrats. I know you'll do great. Appreciate it, Scott. Thank you very much.
But yeah, so anyway, if you guys need anything, like Luke said, go ahead and feel free to reach out to us by emailing support@magnusbox.com. If you want to sign up for a free trial, you can go directly to our website, which is magnusbox.com. And I believe it's /free trial. You can get yourself a 7-day, no commitment free trial. If you don't want to hear from us again, you never will. But I mean, we definitely like you to send us coffee or hit us up and ask us questions. But I hope everyone has a great evening and a great weekend. Have a good one, everyone.
See you guys.